Welcome to RPH Angling Adventures. Today we're at Furnace Inn Ponds, which is in the Dearne Valley. Today we're going to be targeting silverfish, crucian carp, goldfish, roach, rudd, perch, and hopefully we're going to get some fish hopefully. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to run you through the bait that I use here today. We're going to be fishing a pole about 5 metres out. What I use is a Navy Totality 680 carp margin pole. I'll run you through the rig in a moment, but first we'll just have a look at the bait I'm using. First thing we've got here is just some micro pellets. They're just dampened down and just soaked. See that there? They've just been soaked for about an hour or so before we started here today. I've also got some brown breadcrumb ground bait. I'll explain a bit later on in the video why I use a lot of brown breadcrumb here, the ground bait. For a heads up though, is if I say there's a lot of ducks on here, it's like a little village pond. A lot of people come and feed the birds. I reckon there's about 14 pegs on it. It's not a very big place. It's got a fair depth in the middle to about 6 to 8 foot. When I'm fishing, I'm just fishing off the marginal shelf. It's about 3.5 foot deep there. You never know what you're going to catch here. That's something I really do like about it. There's some quality fishing here as well. Perch up to about £2, roach to about £2.5, crucian carp to about £2, goldfish to £3, and there's a koi carp swimming about as well. We might see one of those later on. If we're lucky, we might catch one. So that's why we use the bread, because the fish are used to seeing bread a lot here. We'll go a bit more into depth later on about that. We've got good old maggots, whites and reds. The water here is quite clear, so I like to use white maggots quite a lot because they're very visible, quite easy to see for the fish. Obviously red maggots are an old favourite and always do well, especially for the perch. So yeah, we've got a pint of maggots, that's all. And here, what we're going to do later on is we're going to do a bit of paste fishing. I don't know if anybody has fished paste before on the pole for crucian carp and goldfish, but it can be quite productive. So we're going to have a look at that later on and show you just how we use that. I made the bait a bit earlier. It's dried out a little bit, so that wants a bit more water in it in a moment, because I like to make it quite soft. And we'll look through that. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you the business end of the pole and show you the setup we're using today. This is the first thing you'll notice is a pole cup. Now this is for introducing feed accurately into the swim where we're going to fish. What we need to do is keep his bait accurate. That's one of the key components of being successful with fishing. Here we've got just £5 line to a 4 number 16 float, carp float, and we've got some Dinsmores, soft shot, just shotted down the line, just so we can make it fall through, just nice and enticingly. Down to a £2 hook link, sorry, a £3 hook link with a size 16 hook. And what we're going to do with that is going to fish double maggots. Now, with this setup, that means we can catch anything in this swim really, from the perch to the carp, to the crucian carp, the goldfish, the roach and the rudd. Depending on how I present it, can depend on what species we'll catch. Obviously with the rudd being like surface feeders and liking it a bit further up in the water column, we can make it just fall through the water, so we're fishing so-called on the drop. So yeah, we'll have a look at that in a moment and go through a few drop-ins and a few casts, and I'll show you how to set off the swim with this feeding pattern. Because obviously with any sort of fishing, the feed pattern is very important. If you get the feed pattern right, the fish will respond. Right, what we're going to do is we're just going to start the swim off. As you can see, I've got a pole cup here, and what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to start the swim off with just putting a few small balls of paste in. This is green swim sting ground bait, so we'll just make it to a paste. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little ball in there like that, a few micro pellets and soaked, and just sprinkling the maggots, just a couple of maggots. This is just to get the swim going, just so we can start the swim off feeding. Hopefully then we're going to draw the fish in, you see, as we get the swim started. Today we'll fish about 5 metres out. So, there's 3 sections of the short Navy Totality 6.8 metre margin pole. So, it's going to be about 5 metres. So what we're going to do is just going to drop the float in there, so I've got the marker. And then I'm just going to just gently into the pole cup and just feed around it there. Now repeat this process 3 times, just at the start, just to introduce some bait into there, just so the fish can find it. And again, like I say, just a little ball of rinsed in green ground bait that we've made into a paste. A little splattering of damp micro pellets, a pinch of maggots, and a little pinch of very dry breadcrumb ground bait. What that'll do is it'll cause a cloud and attract the fish in, because it's this water is quite clear and they get fed bread quite a lot. A lot of the locals can feed the birds bread, so I like to work with the breadcrumb ground bait, but obviously the fish are used to seeing breadcrumb and seeing bread products, so that's just to help draw them into the swim. Again, same spot again, roughly there. Just around there. Now 5 metres out, let's put it in. What we're going to do is this time, as I've shipped out, I'm just going to see if there's anything there. I've just got a couple of white maggots on a size 16 hook. Paste in. We're just going to wait for that to hit the bottom. They're at it already. Wait, they took it straight away. This is a bit better. It's a lovely Crucian carp. How's that, eh? The first drop in. And a couple of white maggots. Love a little Crucian carp, just looks in the lip. Look at him, eh? It's beautiful. Straight in there, look at that, eh? Magic. Glorious little bar of gold. How's that for first chuck? Beautiful fish. Let's get him back. Right, so what we're going to do here is, we've got a 16 hook, we're just going to pop on 2 white maggots. Just one. What we're going to do is we're going to hook them so we don't bust them. Just hook 2 white maggots on. There we go. Make it so they're wiggling. We need them wiggling so the fish really see the movement, so they'll be taking them and finding them very quickly. Double maggot now gone underneath it. There we go, look. Straight into one. Good. Some of these golden wood again. Just a little golden wood. Let's have a look at him. Beautiful little wood. Off you go. This is my other top kit. This is a bit heavier elastic, a bit of a heavier setup. This is like, this is just for the paste. So obviously when we're fishing paste, I prefer to use a larger hook than a 16, something from a 14 upwards. Here we've just got a carp float, basic carp float onto 8-pound line, down to a same 8-pound hook link to a size 12 hook. And what we're going to do with that is, that's just so we can make a bigger ball of paste, so we've got a bigger piece of bait. That'll obviously try and catch the larger fish, stop the little ones who are taking the maggots. If we want to try and catch something a bit larger, we'll try this. Hopefully if the carp moving later, it's very good for the carp. Yeah, so that's the paste setup. And obviously we've got a heavier elastic in there, that's a 18 elastic in there. That'll come into play hopefully if the carp show. There's not many carp in here, but I just wanted to show you how we can paste fish that way as well. I can also paste fish on the other setup, with the lighter setup. Obviously if it's a larger carp, it's going to be a bit harder. But we'll go through that as we get there. Right, so here what we see is a size 12 hook. What we're going to do is we're going to put some paste on it. This is a size 12 wide gape by Coram. What I'm going to do is just flatten that out. And there we go, we've got a nice bit of paste. As you can see, that's quite a big bit, but what we've got to take into consideration is there's a lot of small fish that will nip at it, so we want something left for the bigger fish to take it. Sometimes I'll fish with something underneath it, like a bit of chop worm or pellet. Okay, what we're going to do is just going to cup in again now with the paste. It's important to try and keep the line out of the way while it's set. There we go, straight there. Perfect, that. Just sat on the shelf, just off the bottom, so it just drops off into the deeper water. This is his first proper chuck on paste, so we'll see what happens. See that little knock then? What we're waiting for when we're paste fishing is big positive bites, because these little knocks, that's the fish just rooting around, nudging it about, touching it, making it roll down the shelf a little bit. Sometimes even line bites. So what we're waiting for is big positive bites. I know these seagulls have come from, it's like Alfred Hitchcock birds above us at the minute. There must be 40 seagulls above us. There we go, we're into one now. Nice little Crucian carp. Just a line right there. Goes after sometimes fishing with Crucian carp, but there we go. Again, there's some better fish than this in here. Barnacle. Fishing out my Crucian carp again, that's way too heavy for the size 12 hook, so we're trying to get a size 16. Again, the same thing, feeding with the feed, the pole cup, put the paste in. Just going to wait for that to hit the bottom. We're at it already, wait, we took it straight away.